Looks like a lot of people are at church or there's a school function on. That bottle shop there, cafe bottle shop, interesting story to tell. I was in the police and it was a daytime and I got called to a job there by the cafe owner. He said there was a car parked out the front, 2 men were in it sound asleep and they'd been there for at least an hour and they were drunk. So we turned up and sure enough 2 blokes were, one behind the wheel and one in the passenger seat, sleeping, snoring their heads off. They had empty bottles of beer in the back seat on the floor, open bottles of alcohol between them and the front seat, and cup holders. And I said to the cafe owner, "Did you see them driving?" He said, "Yes, I did." I said, "Who was driving?" He said, "The guy behind the wheel." He said, "They've gone into the bottle shop, they've bought alcohol, they've come back out, they've sat there and they've drunken the alcohol, and then they've fallen asleep." So we went over and woke them up, and of course they were aggressive towards us. We didn't catch them drink driving, they said. You can't prove that they were driving. They weren't going to do a breath test. So anyway, we ended up arresting the driver, taking them in to do a breath test, which he refused to do. We charged him with drink driving at the high range, refusing to do a breath test, and drinking alcohol in a public place, which in Queensland you're not allowed to do. And the passenger, he got a ticket for drinking alcohol in a public place. We gave the driver a notice to appear in the Southport Magistrates Court in 4 weeks' time, which is standard time for a notice to appear. And we released him when he sobered up. He was kept in custody till he sobered up, and he was released. He failed to turn up for the court date. A warrant for his arrest was issued, and maybe 6 months later, he was still wanted, not found. 6 months later, I get a phone call from a police officer in New South Wales, in Coffs Harbour, I think it was. And he mentioned this fellow's name and said, "I have this fellow in custody in jail here. Do you want to come and extradite him?" And I said unlikely because of the offence. I said if it was a serious offence like murder or something really serious. But I said drink driving, even high range. I said unlikely they'll go to New Queensland Police will go to the expense to extradite him to Queensland. I said I'll make some inquiries. I made some inquiries, and yes, they weren't going to do it. So I rang this police officer back, New South Wales, said sorry, we're not going to do it. And he said a shame, because I have this bloke in custody. I have arrested him for drink driving, and he was driving drink driving, and he's fallen asleep at the wheel and had a head-on collision with a car coming the other direction, killed the female driver. And he said the matter, when it goes to court, he said, I would love to be able to produce to the judge in New South Wales his previous history, that he had been convicted of high-range drink driving in Queensland. Anyway, I said, the best I can do for you is send down his record of being charged for the offence and failing to appear on a warrant being issued. I said, but that's all I can do. Anyway, so he thanked me, and I'm not sure whatever happened after that. I don't know whether the fellow went to jail or what. I mean, he should have, given the fact that he was drink driving and killed somebody, he probably would have gone to jail. Yes, very sad, very sad. Anyway.